Hello, everybody. I'm Beth Shero. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Shero Commerce. Welcome to our live event. Hard to believe it's been 4 weeks since we've last met. This summer has gone by so fast. After .dev, I got some vacation time. So whenever you take time off, that time either goes really fast or really slow. But it was a great time to unwind. And I was in Albania and Greece. So I was able to visit the Albanian team and we had a great time working together. And our Nordics team even came to visit. So lots of great things that have happened in the past month at Shero. And it was just great to sit down and work with them. And today we have a great event where we're talking about landing pages, getting ready for Cyber Friday, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And how do you develop your landing pages so they have the best intent so they can convert? So when we were thinking about this topic, we could only think of Jurni because they have such a great product that really helps brands optimize this to its fullest potential. So you're really capitalizing on your advertising dollars. As we all know, that money is so valuable that you spend on advertising. So when you get someone finally to your site, it's really important that your landing pages are set up for success. So that's why we're really here to talk today and get our best tips and learnings and learn more about Jurni. So I'd like to welcome Yarden, the CEO and co-founder of Jurni, to introduce himself. Welcome, Yarden. How are you doing today?
Good, good, good. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah,
Um,
awesome. So Yarden, why don't you tell our guests about you and Jurni and how you got started?
awesome. So I'm Yarden, one of the founders and CEO at Jurni. Jurni's been around for about a year and a half now, based out of Tel Aviv, Israel, Tel Aviv, and New York. Basically, we started Jurni with a thesis that websites are pretty static, generic, and one size fits all. So a lot of traffic coming into websites from a lot of different touch points on the internet, Facebook, Google, TikTok ads, AppLovin, ChatGPT, email, influencers, lots of ways to push traffic
Many.
into into your website. But everyone kind of lands on the same generic experience in terms of like the homepage, product page, collection page, with kind of, I'd say, no personalization as to what the person saw in the ad, who the persona is, what channel brought them in, and other data points that you can kind of collect on visitors. And we saw that it's kind of hard to generate landing pages at a very high kind of velocity. It takes kind of dev,
Yeah.
product design, a lot of back and forth, a lot of ping pongs to spin up a page might take a month. And so we built Journey as a platform that on one side we basically connect to the brand's website, pulling in product data, brand tone of voice, brand guidelines, media assets. On the other side, we connect to the ad platform. So we're pulling in the ad creatives, analyzing the ads, who the personas are, what the ad content is, train an agent on that data. And basically that agent can then generate the landing page in the website based off of the intent that we give it. So for example, if we give it an ad, it'll generate a landing page based off of that ad. If we give it a persona, it'll generate a landing page based off of that persona. So like a lot of ways to initiate the building journey. The goal is just to give you a platform that enables you to spin up, pages at a very high velocity.
Amazing. I love this because I just feel like, to your point, how you're saying in the beginning, there are so many different journeys and different intents and different types of customers that are coming to your website. And even when they're coming, they may be coming and they're ready to purchase or they're still investigating, right? So, like, those personas are so important. And it's just such a pain point for so many brands. So, and obviously, you have a lot of very good brands already on your platform. So you're seeing a lot of success. And it's just amazing to see all the progress you've made here.
Yeah.
It would be great too. I think you have some really good examples you wanted to share with us. But sorry, I cut you off. You were going to say something.
No, definitely. I was going to say, would love to show a few examples of some of the brands that we worked with and how brands are utilizing the platform to kind of tailor the experience per customer coming in.
Yeah, please. Let's bring it up so we can look at them.
Awesome. So let me share my screen. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this is
Amazing. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So this is an experience from one of the brands that we work with. It's a more top of the funnel page, so we're not sending traffic to top of the funnel traffic to PDP. We're sending it to more like long form page where we're kind of educating the customer a bit more before they do reach a PDP and kind of make the conversion itself. So this is for a specific persona coming in. They get like a more content-like page. It works really well when you're trying to target top of the funnel traffic. So this is one type of experience. This is a landing page that was built out through one of our agents. The landing page itself does also have a cart embedded inside, and essentially you can add to cart, and then from here reach the Shopify checkout. So the experience is built kind of between the ad all the way to the Shopify checkout.
Amazing.
Um,
And you are platform agnostic, so it doesn't matter if you're on Shopify or another platform, you can still work with any brand, right?
Correct. We work with all the platforms currently out there, including brands that have built their own CMS.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, I love this. It's so cool. And
Yeah.
obviously it's optimized for mobile, right? But it's responsive, I'm assuming, right?
For desktop, right?
Yeah. Cool.
Most of the traffic is coming in from mobile, but we do also support desktop experiences. So this is another experience that's for a specific persona. So persona pages have become a pretty big thing. Lots of brands have different personas. I think this one here is for like a busy dad. The ad is talking to that busy dad persona. You land on a busy dad page, and this is kind of how it looks like. So we start from like more content. So again, these pages are a lot more content heavy, educational, kind of tailoring the content to what the person saw in the ad. And then you do hit the buy box section down here.
Oh, nice. So on this type of landing page, the buy is actually on the page. That's cool.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Cool.
Um, Two additional pages that I want to show. This is for more, lots of brands are doing kind of whitelisted partnership ads, running ads through influencers.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially what we're seeing here is Sean's page. So you clicked on Sean's ad in Instagram, then you land on Sean's page. So again, we're correlating kind of the person who we clicked on their ad in Instagram, we're landing on her page, more content and quotes, more media assets that we see of her and the brand. So when we connect the two dots together, we're seeing the conversion rates go up in these types of pages.
Yeah, I mean, that one specifically is so big because I think of like when I'm on Instagram and I see something and then I just go off to a random site, that continuity is so valuable. And I'm sure it's just so much easier to track as well, like seeing the efforts go into that. And I'm sure you'll get into this, but like the tracking aspect of that, I'm assuming your journey helps the brand manage that as well, right?
Yeah, correct. Through like the back end, so like the platform, you'd be able to see like all the analytics, tracking. If you work with specific like third-party tools for analytics, then we're also pushing the analytics from these pages to those platforms. Our pages do work in two ways. They're on a subdomain. So for the example here, we're on try.thosedaily.co, and
Mm-hmm.
we can also push the pages into Shopify pages. We'll usually recommend building the pages on a subdomain because in terms of performance and load speed of the page is usually just loading a landing page, in an Instagram browser is a lot quicker than loading your whole website with all the scripts that you have. And it's a lot more heavy to load that into an Instagram browser. So we'll recommend always running on a subdomain.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's awesome. Did you have a fourth one? Okay.
Yeah, just yeah. This is a top of the funnel page, so 7 reasons why page. A lot of brands are running these types of listicle pages, and it works really well for brand and for traffic, more cold traffic that's coming in. They don't really know the brand that much. They need a bit more education before they hit a PDP. So this is another type of page we recommend running a lot. We see it across almost all of our customers. These types of pages.
And when a brand's thinking about like what pages they need, is that like something that you consult with or have best practices that you recommend to them? Because I know like we said in the beginning, like a lot of brands struggle to get these landing pages out, and now that they have everything, it's like it can be like, I can imagine it might feel a little overwhelming of like where to start. And I know you're going to show us how Jurni works because it's pretty user friendly, but um, do you, have best practices that you recommend to a customer, or is there like a consultation as they onboard? What does the onboarding look like, I guess, is the question.
Yeah, great questions. So the onboarding is, very quick. We plug into the website either through Shopify API or kind of with a, if it's not on Shopify, then we have another way through the APIs to connect to their website. Onboarding is very quick. We basically scrape the website, kind of build brand context. So we're pulling in all the, brand guidelines, scraping your website in terms of like the content, kind of train an agent on that data that we're collecting before the onboarding call. And then on the onboarding call, basically, we walk through the platform. At the end of the call, you usually have 2 or 3 pages that are live after we kind of strategize with the customer and kind of give them our recommendations as to like what pages you should start with.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say that like our agent is also trained. So we like have a huge data set of like a type of ad, how it works with a specific type of layout of a page. So when the agent does build out the pages, it's using that data set that we've trained it on to recommend like the page structure, the layout, what type of content to put in the page for what type of ad content, ad hook. So basically that happens pretty much automatically through the agent.
Amazing. So I'm assuming as your agent collects more data, then it's like on the next landing page it recommends, it's optimizing that, right? Or are there opportunities, you know, to optimize it after it's been launched? I'm assuming yes, but just curious what that looks like because I just feel like there's probably so much data it's collecting that I can learn from. And or do you feel that like at this point most of these things are like pretty locked in, the agent already knows everything that is going to be best practice, like, you know what
I think
I
it's
mean?
Yeah,
Or a combo.
it's I think it's a combo of both because it's like a sort of like a feedback loop. So like
Yeah.
you're launching new pages, we're collecting data, and then we're continuously kind of looking at that data for the next pages, how to optimize either the existing ones or to recommend net new experiences. So we do have like within the Journey platform what we call we just launched it pretty recently, a strategizer, which is just an agent that runs every week on your current data, paid media data. So all the data that you're kind of coming in from Meta, all your Shopify data, and all the data that's being collected in Journey, and essentially recommending every week 5 new experiences that you should build in your website based off of that data.
Nice. So it's even recommending like on the website experience outside of the landing pages?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
wow,
based off
that's
of
very useful. That's very cool.
yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Huh. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I mean, today I think like a lot of the brands that do come to us a lot of times like they're looking for that help with like there's a lot to do. They're hearing a lot of things like you should build this, you should build that. I think that the data set that we've collected is very unique, and it kind of helps you kind of focus. With all the AI going around, there's a lot of noise.
Yes.
You feel you have like superpowers, you can do it all, but staying focused and intent driven is very important.
Yeah, I mean, just out of curiosity, without your agent and your tool at Journey, like how, like, is it just like a lot of manual work to do stuff like this? And it's just like impossible to keep up and do it like properly to make it personalized? Like, are there
Yeah.
people doing it like manually? I'm just curious. Like, what does it look like out there in the Wild West?
So essentially, like how it would work, I guess, pre like AI era is,
Yeah.
you'd be like you're a marketer, you're spinning up ads all the time, you're testing out different ad angles, and you have a new ad creative, and you want to build out an experience for it. You need to talk to your product team, dev team, design team, to kind of okay, give them the brief. This is the ad. This is what like we want to show up in the page, and then the product dev team, design team talk together, build out the page. A lot of ping pongs between them all, and then a page is launched after a month. And I
Yeah.
think just like performance and growth teams, they move really quickly. They're building ads all the time, and they just don't want to wait. So I guess, pre-AI, it was a lot of manual work. Today with AI, you can streamline the work a lot, faster. And I think what's also unique within Journey is like the whole workflow is in one, within one platform.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So with Journey, like how quickly do people get landing pages up? Can you get them up within the day then, it sounds like, typically?
Yeah, the first day that you onboard into Journey, you already have
You're ready to
um,
go.
at, at least, yeah. The goal is to have at least one page up and running. Like that's the KPI that we look at as like a company. Customer onboards day one, they should already have one page.
Amazing. Okay, awesome. So let's dive into the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, since I know we're in August, but the clock just moves so quickly, and a lot of brands are already preparing or do earlier sales and like actual Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So I think this is super powerful and important. You created a couple of examples that you thought would be useful to talk through. Do you want to bring those up or explain
Yeah,
your thought process on, where you see people winning in this holiday season that's coming up?
yeah, for sure. I think I'll show a few examples. So let me share my screen again.
Sure.
So like I broke it down to like, again, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel pages. So I'm showing a few pages that we saw like work really, really well last year, and think it's worth to do them this year as well. So this is an example of a page of like more like middle of the funnel. So like this is a holiday shop page where essentially you click on an ad and you have all of your all of like the collection itself of products that are kind of included in this specific offering in one page, where it's very easy to kind of find them all. So they're all in here. Oh, see that they may have removed this one from here, the actual product itself. But essentially, you have them all in this one holiday shop page. We
Hmm.
saw this work really well across, customers. So this is another one that's set up pretty similar. You have all of your you break down of all like your bestsellers, the types of products that are included inside the actual offer itself, in one kind of concentrated page. So this worked really well for middle of the funnel. And again, you tailor the ad, so the 30% off with the actual offering in the page itself.
Nice.
So this was like for the middle of the funnel. For like the top of the funnel and bottom of the funnel, we have two pages to show. So this is, by the way, the Journey platform. um, Showing one page that was kind of built. This is more bottom of the funnel, so we're sending straight to a product page. But this product page, has the offer kind of yelling right at you, the 20% off. And then you do see the product itself straight away. So for bottom of the funnel traffic, always important to send to PDPs. Wouldn't recommend to send to more like, content driven page, but it's very important to keep the offer aligned with what the person saw in the ad, and make it very kind of visual so that they see it.
Yeah, that's super valuable. And when we were preparing for this, we were also talking a bit about how, kind of the past trends maybe have been to like just super discount, but then it's really hurting margins, especially if you have a lot of returns and stuff. So I think, the Journey tool, the ability to create these more specific landing pages really helps. You don't have to always just like slash prices to get the conversion. Cause I know if a customer really values the product, they're going to buy it anyways. But you do have some customers that are always going to look for that discount, right?
Right.
So where do you see people like, do you see when people transition to Journey, they're thinking more strategically and less about cutting prices, or does it just depend on the brand? Like, I'm just curious, what are the most impactful things that people can do to help this coming season?
I think it's making sure that, I mean, you don't have to like cut. I mean, everyone's kind of sort of like cutting prices. So I think like,
Yeah.
um,
How
so
do you
I mean,
stand
in the
out?
end of the day,
Summary.
exactly. So it's a matter of like how you stand out, and how you in the end kind of tailor the page to stand out. So like the way you stand out is by maybe this is, for example, I wanted to show like a top of the funnel page,
Hmm.
where this page. Let's open it. Okay, let's open it in the editor. We'll give it a second to load. So like someone who just saw an ad on Instagram, very cold traffic, we want to maybe create a page where they see all of the offers that you're running in one page. So we have like the mystery kit here, different types of offers that are kind of running within this a bundle. So making like this like top of the funnel page works for gift with purchase, works really well for kind of traffic that's coming in that's a bit more cold.
Mm.
um,
Yeah,
where
so
just
they get
setting
a
the
broader perspective of what you're offering, right?
Exactly. So this is stuff that actually stands out because usually, I mean, what brands we saw do up until like using a platform like Journey would be again sending like some cold traffic to a PDP with a 30% discount. Sometimes
Yes.
they're not sometimes they're not ready for it. You mean they don't know who you are yet. They want to maybe see like more context. So like these types of pages we saw, we'd recommend testing out for sure during holiday season.
And I mean, you definitely want to test these pages before you run your sale. So, like, how early are people actually testing these in preparation for the holiday? Or does it, like, is there a theme there? Like, are they preparing that the month before, or what do you typically see?
So we have Labor Day coming up
You
pretty
do.
soon, and it's a good opportunity to test out these types of pages. So we're already seeing
Nice.
some brands building these types of experiences, which is a good testing ground for the Black Friday Cyber Monday time. So we're seeing it, brands already doing it.
Mm.
I think today you can leverage tools with AI to kind of build these, very quickly, so you're able to kind of spin them up and get a good sense of how they work pretty quickly.
Yeah, totally. Um, And then were there any other thoughts on, the landing pages that we want to suggest for the holidays? Or we got through them all?
I think we covered them most of it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then you were just showing a bit of, oh, we have a question. Great. Let's see. What is the fastest way to tell if a current landing pages are actually intent matched or just generic pages with a Black Friday, Monday banner on them? That's a good
Uh,
question.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess like the quickest way would be like looking at the content, in the hero section of the page.
Mm,
Like that'd be the quickest way you'd be able to notice if it's just like a more generic page or like there's some sort of like intent behind it. So that's what I'd guess would be like the first thing I would look at right away.
yeah, and I think some of the examples you just showed are like really good examples where like instead of just landing on the product page, you're landing on a page that shows five different types of products for gifting, right? So
Yep.
just depending on where people come from, thinking through where they are in the process and showing that information. Great question. Thank you. Oh, we have another one. Once Black Friday, Cyber Monday is over, how much of this intent-driven approach should stick around for the rest of the year versus being a holiday-only tactic? Hmm.
I mean, I think it should be, year round. Like we can see brands doing it well before Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I think an intent-driven approach as a company, as a brand, is important. We're seeing that when you do tailor the experience to the ad, it works. It brings down CPAs. It brings up ROAS and conversion rates, which is super important. So I'd recommend doing it all the time. Yeah, I guess it's super important.
Yeah, I mean, I think the more personalized the landing page can be, the higher conversion you're going to have, right? Because then people aren't like, why am I going to this page? Because I've had that happen sometimes where I click on something and I'm like, how did I end up here? This seems fishy.
Totally,
You
totally,
know?
totally.
But then there are ads that you click on and you're like surprised and like very excited to be like, ooh, it's like it's almost like you're unwrapping a present. Like, oh, what else do they have to offer? It's like an experience, right? So
Yeah,
I agree. I think these are best practices that you should put in place now if you haven't, and then continue to do because it only helps add to the experience and improving those conversions.
I think especially like now that, creating creatives all the time. So like, in the end, you have very unique ads. You don't want to send those unique ads to like a generic experience. You're putting a lot of effort in creating these
Yes.
amazing experiences. You're spending a lot of money on Meta to kind of bring in that traffic. You got to squeeze the lemon and, until the end of it. So you got to, create these, more personalized experiences.
Absolutely. And when you were talking about how Journey collects the data to make these landing pages, um, what if your data is not super great? Like, what do you do then? Are you able to kind of add it into Journey, like a skill set of like, this is like what I'd rather you use? Like, obviously you want your site to be optimized to the best that you can, but sometimes there are limitations in that. Like, for example, we've had clients that come to us and they want their site built, and we're going to do that for them, but there's like this grace period where they can only do so much, right? But they still need to make money. So just curious if there's a way to like add additional data outside of like what's in the website for Journey to pick up on.
Yeah, great question. I'd love to show you actually how that looks like in the
Yeah,
platform.
please. That would be
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Um, so like whenever you make like an edit, or if the AI makes an edit to, one of the sections in here. So in Journey, like once the agent builds a page, you can either, edit stuff manually, but
Oh,
you can
okay.
also, or you can also just like prompt AI here on the left side to, make a change in the page itself.
Mm-hmm.
So every time you make an edit in here, either by the AI or manually, we continuously like learn, and kind of that helps the agent get better for like the next time that it, makes a build for the brand, then it kind of takes that into consideration. Um, and then the second thing that we do have in Journey, which a lot of brands are using, is the ability to add in skill files. So if you're using Claude or ChatGPT, you can come into like the AI knowledge within Journey and just like load in, like upload skills that you might have in Claude or ChatGPT. If you have like guardrails, like we have a lot of brands that you got to make sure like all the content that's going out there is within these guardrails. So you can also add in
Yes.
guidance. So like there's a lot of ways to just add, context into Journey for it to make sure that it's building all these experiences within those guardrails, I guess.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, there are definitely a lot of those got yous that brands don't want to share when, on their landing pages. So
Yeah.
that's great that you give them that ability to do that. And uh, most of the world now is using AI. So none of these concepts should be foreign, but like just to name it, if it's almost like treating Journey like an employee, let's say an assistant, right? So you hire an assistant, they don't learn everything on day one. You have to teach them what's right and wrong. So the same concept applies here. And I'm sure the better Journey gets as you work with it, right? Is that a good way to
Yep.
summarize it?
Exactly right on point.
Awesome. Um, let's see. And then just because we were just talking about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, um, like what are like the biggest mistakes that you see people making? Like how can they avoid those? Like we obviously want them to move to Journey, but if they're not there yet, like what's your top three or top things that you would say, like, don't do this thing, it's a terrible idea, or worst case scenarios you've seen where you're like cringing. Just curious, just to like make sure if we're giving everybody the best advice that we can.
Yeah, so I mean, I think like the number one thing would be like brands that start testing out these like new experiences a bit too late. So like, maybe
Mm,
a week or two, or didn't get like, haven't like collected enough data to like understand if this will work or not work, like on, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So definitely like start testing ahead of time.
yeah.
Um, I guess like the second thing would be probably, um, you know, more generic pages, like in the end, like, just sending traffic to PDP where maybe the offer, you can't really see it. Um, I mean, those are like things that, you just you can't have that happen, um, during that time of period. Um, and I guess, I mean, maybe brands that do like understand that they need to do like build out maybe a page, but they do it like a day or two before, pushing code into your website, a day or
You're
two,
making me
or even
nervous, Yarden.
yeah, don't do it too late. So I guess like those are like the top three things that I'd look at.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, I always say this, like the other thing that we think of from like our perspective, and I've seen it happen, and I think you mentioned it earlier on, like the site speed. Like you're pushing them to a unique domain so it can be as quick as possible, but when the site's too slow, it's like you might as well not even spend your money,
Right.
because when they land there and it's just like a slow experience, like nobody's sticking around anymore,
Yeah, site speed
right?
it's critical. It's really critical. Um, yeah, for sure.
And then just because, it seems like you're a pretty AI first company, I think last holiday season we saw an uptick of like people using AI to find products, not necessarily purchasing through AI, but like obviously there's a lot more that's evolved in the past year. Um, do you, in your system, do you track when people come to like the landing pages from like LLMs, and like what do you see happening with that user journey when people start shopping more autonomously through LLMs? Like, what's your take on that? Because I feel like that's like the thing that's creeping up on us that people aren't really sure maybe how to get ahead of yet, or don't have enough data to understand how that might evolve and change the landing pages, or do they just go straight to the website then? Like, just curious your perspective on that.
Yeah, for sure. So, like we have two ways to run the journey pages. One is on the subdomain, like I mentioned, and one is on the Shopify pages, or like in the root domain. So,
Yeah.
like for the pages that are on the subdomain, those are primarily for traffic coming in paid media. So usually,
Hmm.
you can index them within Journey, but usually you won't index those pages. So like AI traffic usually doesn't hit those pages. But for the pages
Okay.
that we do push, for the
Perfect.
pages for the pages that for the pages that we do push into Shopify, we're seeing a lot more AI traffic coming in recently, like throughout the last year, like a lot more traffic coming into these pages. And what we see is usually the people that are coming in have a lot more intent. So like
Hmm.
they're converting a lot better than other, traffic sources that are coming in from other organic maybe channels.
Hmm.
So definitely seeing it, come up a lot. Haven't seen um, actual people buying through the AI agents. It's more
Yeah.
just like, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we are thinking and talking about it a lot, but it's not there quite yet. But yeah. Okay.
We are seeing a lot of through Journey. We are seeing a lot of brands create blog pages and article pages, so it's very easy to do that. Like they load in a lot of keywords or
Ooh.
prompts that
Yeah.
they're trying to optimize for, and then Journey just builds out a landing page, just like the landing page is for a blog article, and we don't connect those to the ads. They just live on your website, and they help you do come up better in all these like AI search engines.
Interesting. That's very cool because I know a lot of brands are struggling with getting content out quickly and making sure it's optimized appropriately. It just takes time. So like if they don't have a good setup for that, I mean, that in itself is priceless, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um, awesome. Anything else that you want to cover about Journey that you think our audience would want to learn or for Black Friday, Cyber Monday readiness?
Um, I'd say just start testing now.
Yeah,
Start building these experiences now. It's important to be ready. It's the money time of the year. So just start preparing for it. Um, yeah, guess we covered most of it.
amazing. And if people want to get in touch with you or learn more about Journey, I'm assuming they can reach out to you and schedule a call.
Yeah, you can do it from the website. You can kind of book a demo. It links straight to my calendar, so it'd be a demo with me.
Oh, nice.
Uh, yeah, I mean that's like I guess the fastest way um, to reach out.
Um, and I think you also have a skill that you're willing to offer our audience on building a Black Friday, Cyber Monday page. Is that correct? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we've built a few skill files, but we've built one that's like really good for like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that
Mm-hmm.
essentially you can just load it into Journey, and it just builds based off of your brand, your ads. It'll build a landing page on based like on our best practices. So like one of the pages that you just saw, it would essentially build a similar page just on your brand. So yeah, we can once reaching out, we can send that over.
Amazing. Okay, awesome. Well, this has been really helpful. I think, our biggest takeaway is make sure you're prepping for holiday season now and you start thinking and testing your ads. And Journey is a great tool that can help you spin these pages up quicker with better intent and more personalized content so you can have higher conversions. And who doesn't want that, right?
For sure.
And really appreciate your time, Yarden, and just all of your knowledge that you've put into Journey and, seeing it grow. It's pretty amazing what you've been able to do. And I'm sure, you're going to keep growing with all the great brands that you have on the platform. You're constantly learning, and it's just good to see that as we learn in our ecom world.
Thank you. Thank you
Um,
for having me.
yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
And then just to wrap up, again, thank you everybody for joining. I hope you walked away learning about Journey and how you can prep. And, if you were sleeping all summer, now it's time to wake up for the holiday season. And I just wanted to share some upcoming events that Shero's joining. So Gentian, our co-founder and CSO, will be at KBOS for Klaviyo. And then we have Ecom Expo in London, and we're hosting a VIP event with Bloomreach. So if you're interested in that, please reach out. It's going to be a great event. Myself and Richmond will be at Shop Talk Nashville, and we're going to be doing a fun event with clear.io. So super excited about that. So if you want to join us for our fun event that we're going to be doing in Nashville, please reach out. And I think that's a wrap. It's been great seeing you all again. Thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Shero. Always be learning.